In 2016, Nike pulled out of making golf clubs forever, citing a decline in the sport itself. In today's video, we're going to discuss exactly, has golf declined, why on earth did Nike really stop making clubs, and see if they're still any good to buy on the second-hand market. Let's do it. They pulled out of making clubs back in 2016. They had some of the world's best players at the time, hence the Nike Victory Red TW irons we have today. We also have a special guest, Gaz. You are a specialist when it comes to second-hand golf clubs. You've wheeled and dealed more clubs than I've had hot dinners. We're going to play a bit of a scramble today, and we're going to discuss just why Nike potentially did pull out of the market. They had Rory McIlroy, they had Tiger Woods, they had Jason Day. They were killing it.
This is a video I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, me too. Let's tee off. We're going to play Texas Scramble in the opening holes here at Woolley Park Golf Club. First hole, a gorgeous par 4 over the lake around the corner. How do you want to tee off? Oh, he's gone for it already.
Oh, I'm good.
Now, this thing. So, guys, spoiler alert, we got all these from our friends at Golf Clubs for Cash. If you want to check those out, check out the link in the description below. Some of the clubs are still absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? And it makes you wonder, why did they pull out of this market?
What I can't believe is the price how cheap they are.
Yeah.
Because I know this sounds daft, but I'm a bit of a golf nerd. I go on eBay and I'm always searching second-hand market. And for stuff that I've been looking for, it's really expensive on eBay.
Yeah, I mean, they did make some terrible clubs. They made the SQ range, which wasn't very popular. This Covert range just wasn't very forgiving. But then you look at the Vapor range and the Vaporfly range, the yellow and blue range, they were really, really good. And I think Brooks Koepka still uses that driving iron today.
Do you know what amazed me though? I don't know why Nike pulled out of market, because they'd actually got clubs made for the year afterwards.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
So they must not have known.
The clubs that never came, I'll put those on screen now.
Right, we're going to see how low we can go.
Yeah.
This is going to be a big cutty 3-wood.
3 under through 5 is the best I've had with a guest on the channel. I think that was you, actually.
Yeah, let's see if we can go lower then.
It's a great strike. It might be too long though on that line.
Too long. Oh, it's in that gap again.
How did it feel, that?
Felt lovely. It felt like breaking glass, that sound you get.
Like, to me, this brings it back to, this just reminds me of Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods, when he just had his knee operation and he was looking like winning more majors, the Sasquatch SQ. I'm actually going to go an iron, guys. I'm going to make sure we're in play. I'm going to go a little 3-iron. They all remind me of Tiger Woods, to be honest, but if you can hit this, you can pretty much hit anything. And you see, guys, this is a video that I've seen done in the past on YouTube, but no one really seemed to get to the bones of why Nike stopped making golf clubs. They cited back in 2016 there was a huge decline in golf itself. Obviously, they could never have forecasted for what has happened now. Golf's never been at a higher stock level. But realistically, why didn't Nike go, right, if golf is declining, as one of the biggest corporations in the world, how can we help it? Not just stop making them, because that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'll pick that up. I think that's a valid point.
I think it really is. And I think if Nike came back into the golf industry, they'd explode.
Right. That felt really good. They actually made very good irons. Do you remember the slingshot irons?
Yeah.
They were really forgiving, weren't they? These are obviously the Tiger Woods blades. And it almost makes you wonder, how heavily focused were they on Tiger Woods and on Rory McIlroy and on the world's best players, instead of maybe focusing where they should have done on the average player who plays every weekend and wants to get better. Today we're going to put these to the test, and I've been in the studio to test the Nike VRS Covert against the best driver of 2023 to see just how much difference there really is. What were you going to say, mate?
I think Nike are like an ex-girlfriend you didn't want to get rid of. You don't appreciate while you've got them, but now they're out the market, I actually appreciate their equipment a lot more.
That's a very lovely point, guys. The one club that isn't Nike in here, by the way, I couldn't find a Nike putter anywhere. They had lots of limited edition putters back in the day, but we've got a TaylorMade putter in there today. But even look at the wedges, like, they actually look really, really good. This set, I could use this set, potentially.
I mean, I wish that I'd got one of these, you know, back in the day. When
how much is on the label?
It was like $37.99.
Yours for 60 quid.
I'm actually thinking of, trying to buy that if I can.
So guys, do us a huge favour and get in the comments below, have you ever owned Nike golf clubs? If you have, which ones were they? And would you buy them again second hand? Or even, if they came back to the market, would you buy them again?
I would.
Yeah, I think it's strange because Nike, I'm sure people are really hating how I'm saying it, but
Yeah.
It's always been one of the world's biggest brands, and like I said earlier, why didn't they just try and help golf as a sport, invest into it, try and get golf booming again? It obviously took a pandemic to do that, but big brands like Adidas, like Puma, they're all trying to get golf going again. They're trying to make it more diverse, trying to get more people into it. For Nike to pull out and then concentrate on shoe sales and clothing sales, obviously they still have the world's biggest players when it comes to Nike clothing and Nike footwear. So the biggest distance gain on tour was 2016 when Nike pulled out.
How can it not be good though when you've got Rory and Tiger using
But Rory
these?
struggled with it, didn't he? Yeah, the irons, fair enough, but they're just a bladed iron, aren't they? The drivers,
Yeah.
like Rory struggled with it for a bit, didn't he? And Rory struggled with the golf ball change. When he signed that mega money contract, he was at Titleist, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then he went to Nike and he struggled changing the golf ball. Some of the golf balls were terrible. The Nike One was very, very good. That's the one that Tiger won quite a few majors with. Then they went to the Nike RZN, the resin ball. That felt really clicky, really hard and awful. But I think they just struggled, mate, for a lot of it.
I think that we didn't give him a fair chance though. I think people just said it were a shoe brand and it put... I generally didn't buy Nike clubs because people said that it weren't as good as the top brands, but now I'm older and when you try it, I think it's better than we give it credit for.
It's an interesting argument. I'm glad I've got Gaz here for this because I'm very much on the basis that, oh look, someone's practiced a lot with this, on the basis that Nike struggled to make the clubs and that's why they pulled out, because they weren't making the margin that potentially they could make on trainers, on shoes, on golf clothing as a whole. I told you it was too much club. The one thing they did do is make fantastic bladed irons. This looks absolutely gorgeous. I actually had a set of these and I couldn't hit them. They were very difficult to hit. Right guys, can we shoot 4 under for 5
Yes.
holes with the Nikes?
That were a lovely strike.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Oh, sit. Oh, tell you what guys,
What a shot.
I feel like Tiger all of a sudden.
That spun up so nice.
Yeah, it was lovely. And interestingly, we couldn't find a Nike putter at golf clubs for cash. I could have got one online, but I got these from the store in Warrington. It's a pitching wedge, guys.
That's about 2 foot. I've just looked through a bush now. I don't think I'm going to be able to get any closer than that.
No, I don't think you will. But interestingly, Rory didn't really use a Nike putter. They tried him with that Method one for a while, didn't they? Tiger always used his Scotty Cameron. So maybe they just struggled making putters.
I don't know how you've got spin on that. There's none at face left. Have you seen that? Have you shown that?
Struggle making putters, and maybe that's why there's not so many left for people to buy second hand. Come on guys, get inside my ball.
This guy was devastated when there were no nightclubs to buy. That was flush.
Nice. 2 good shots in there.
I'd take that.
Mine's very close as you can see, and Gaz's is flag high. Like, they did make exceptional bladed irons, didn't they?
You know when you hit a good blade like that, doesn't it make you think, oh, I wish
I must admit, I feel like this is what TaylorMade are trying to make for Tiger. You know, with those P7TWs?
Yeah.
Pretty much just trying to make those, aren't they? Like, the old school clubs that Tiger used to use that everyone always thinks about are just a clean blade with a Nike logo on. Apparently, Miura helped make them.
I believe so,
Apparently,
yeah.
I can't say that for truth, so we're going to go with apparently and with...
Well, when you go on eBay to search your irons,
Yeah.
loads of Nike always pop up.
well, there we go then. But I'm not saying that as a fact, I'm just saying potentially they did. Can we birdie this hole with the Nike clubs? Right guys, we've got this.
Someone told me, and I don't know if it's true, Nike only are interested in being #1, you know, in certain brands, and if they can't get to #1, they're just not interested.
Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Like, you look at the players that they now sponsor, they have Rory, don't they?
Yeah.
Tiger, looking like #1 all
But
round.
like, they've got to be the market leaders in like equipment of whatever sport they're in.
Yeah. Oh, that's low. Couple of cups right, mate. Big turn.
They're really running quick, these greens.
So guys, you do a lot of wheeling and dealing in second-hand golf balls, don't you? You get a lot through the door and moving them on. Do you ever get many Nikes?
They are phasing out. I've got to admit, I get less and less these days, and when I do, it's more the budget ones.
Yeah. Go on then. Oi! 1 under through 1. Literally couldn't start better. Good birdie.
Yeah, good start.
It was interesting when, obviously when Tiger went through his initial scandal, he then put a Nike putter in the bag, didn't he? And again, I've got no idea if this is factual or not, but it looked almost like Nike had said, right, we'll keep you on, but it's a 14 club deal.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing, and then he struggled with it, and then there was a big, obviously, furore when he put the Scotty Cameron back in the bag, and eventually, obviously, he won the Masters again. I
don't think it's the last time we've seen Nike on the golf market.
It would cause such a stir if they came back and made them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I just think, you know, in our lifetime we will see Nike, one of the biggest brand or sporting brands in the world.
Probably up there as the biggest.
Yeah.
Nike, Puma, Adidas are the big three, I would say.
Definitely, and I think golf now becoming the sport that they need to be in, because the new modern golf, we've got this new modern generation of golfer, haven't we?
Yeah.
That I don't think will be deterred by having a sports brand making clubs.
Do you remember how good the Nike bags were, the golf bags, with the kind of air pocket in them? They were really comfy and really good. I had one of those. I take it we're both going to go with this on here, are we?
Actually, I want to mix things up and try all these clubs today, so I think I might hit driver.
Right, big dog, second hole, stroke index 14, just under 400 yards, a lovely sweeping par 4 around the corner, as you can see, to a tight green and a front flag. Let's see exactly what we can do.
Do you want to go first, or? I'm just worried this is going to be all or nothing.
Yeah, I mean, if you hit the fairway with that, I'll probably hit the same club as you.
Right.
Do you fancy hitting the fairway?
Well, I'm going to go very direct, so it's going to be quite a tight line.
Right, well, I've hit the driver in the studio for numbers. I know the numbers already, and I've hit this 3-wood in the studio as well, guys. So if you want to see those numbers, I'll put those a little bit later on in this video. You know, talk about forgiveness.
It's a little bit too left, that I think, isn't it?
It sounded interesting. But really interesting as well, Nike were so heavily invested in club fittings, especially here in the UK. They had centres, they had lots of investment, didn't they? If you think, they had the Archerfield fitting centre of excellence up there. They had people on the road coming out and trying to sell you Nike clubs and stuff. Right. Fairway, James. I love the ring round the edge of this. Cut. It's safe.
It's safe.
It wasn't the best.
I think we might need a little bit of luck with mine, possibly. But yours is definitely in play.
Guys, remember we did get these clubs from Golf Clubs for Cash, so if you do want to check them out, check out the link in the description. If you don't want Nike clubs and you want a Titleist, TaylorMade, Mizuno or Callaway, they're there as well. That was a terrible swing by me, not a very forgiving 3-wood.
Let's not forget as well, they've made the loudest driver of all time.
Yeah. I mean, did they initially release the square driver, or was that Callaway? They came out at a very similar time, didn't they?
Yeah, that one went through that phase of square driver.
It was the SQ squared, wasn't it?
But I remember speaking to Rep, and they were saying that they wanted to make their driver as loud as possible to draw attention when people hit it.
Right.
Get people talking about Nike clubs, and that's so Nike, isn't it?
I remember one of our friends that we played with, the junior Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny had the Nike driver and he was lethal with it.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, I need to get one of the Nike drivers. Turns out Johnny was just a really good driver of the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all right, I'm here. But yeah, it wasn't necessarily the driver, it was just the man behind. I think yours might be in there, mate. Luckily enough, we're here. Right, 141 yards. Someone's been practicing a lot with this 9-iron as well. The centre's nice and worn. Proper Tiger spec these as well. Project X 6s and a nice corded grip on here. This needs to go all the way and then hopefully come back a little bit. It does look like one of the best looking irons I've ever hit, I must say, down at the ball. I pulled that one as well, guys. Not entirely sure. Do you want the 9?
Yeah, it's always one of them strikes that makes you realise that...
No, the strike was alright, I've just pulled it.
Alright.
Doesn't fill you with confidence, does it? Let's have a look at it down at the ball.
It's a proper player's club, isn't it? Proper players club.
It's a really, really good looking iron. I did have these, I remember. They did a really good pro combo set as well, Nike.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cutting in nice.
Oh, just fly the bunker, please. Oh, it has.
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh, it's coming down as well. I can see it.
Yeah. Them greens
Yeah,
are
great
sharp
shot.
this morning.
You can just see that through that little gap there. Great shot, guys. Mine finished top edge here. It's a good job Gaz has came down that slope to give us a look. So that is a very difficult up and down, especially with one of these bad boys. Interestingly, you don't see anyone with nightclubs anymore either, do you? Like, you never play with anyone that's still got them in.
I think it's generally because people do like to change their equipment. If they're keen golfers, you know, every 5-6 years, generally speaking, they're going to change something in the bag, aren't they?
And you think it's almost been 8 years since they phased it out.
Yeah, so whether it's getting a bit worn or they're just fancying a change. But I don't know if it's not probably down to quality, is it?
No, I wouldn't
or
have thought
performance so much. Right, this would be an amazing birdie.
Yeah, let's see if we can really get deep with these. If we get to 5 under through 5 holes, bearing in mind one of them is potentially an eagle chance if we get the drive away, Nike have to re-release some golf clubs, I've said it. I think that's fair, they have to do it.
Oh, too aggressive.
Firm,
this
mate.
one down to you.
Very firm. Interestingly, do you think if they did come back and release golf clubs that they would look at like the Paradigm with that 360 carbon wrap and the Stealth with the carbon face and kind of go that way, or do you think they'd go somewhere else with it?
I think Nike could just go their own way, you know
Yeah.
what they're like?
Yeah,
they
they'd
don't
probably
tend to follow, do they?
No, they're
tend to
generally
try and
leader,
lead.
aren't they? Right.
That's the way. Oh, dying. Come on. How has that not
Gone right,
broke?
hasn't it? Right, well, the tee shot didn't really open it up for us, did it? But that is a par, 1 under through 2, gorgeous par 3 coming up, then a drivable par 4 if we can get it away, and then a spectacular hole to finish on. Guys, what are we going to shoot? And should Nike release new golf clubs today? And if they would you buy them? So guys, here's a name for you, Anthony Kim. 2009, Anthony Kim signed a multi-year deal to be one of the faces of Nike Golf. And then, what happened to that? Has he still got his nightclubs, do you think?
I think you're probably hanging on to him.
I bet he's probably got them. Because he doesn't play anymore, does he? Because he had an injury and then he got...
Well, he's not allowed to play a professional tournament, is he?
Because then he has to give his money back, wouldn't he, or something?
He
But...
made a massive insurance claim for injury.
Right, it's 140 and I've got a 7. And I think this is exactly what these irons are great for. You know, just like trying to manipulate a shape and manipulate a yardage. Try and really get a nice little cutty one into this. Oh, Gaz, this looks so good. This looks so good down at the ball. Really, really, really good. So many companies have tried to copy these and just not quite got really nice chamfered heel there. Right, try and manipulate one in. Tiger style. I pulled another one, Gaz. These might look good, but I don't think they're the irons for me. Over to you. Do you want the 7 or the 9?
I'm going 9. I feel like I'm a golfer that has to just commit to full swings. I'm not so good at playing these half shots.
Oh, nice.
That's straight at it.
Be the club. Be the club. I think that could be nice, mate.
That was looking good.
Here's one. What was the best Nike driver ever released? As juniors, we all had the Nike Ignite driver. Remember the Nike Ignite and the Nike Ignite Plus?
I do, yeah.
On Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2000 and, would it be 2007, 2006, that kind of year?
Yeah. 2001's ringing a bell to me, but I'm
Yeah,
a bit older.
Yeah, you're older than me, mate. Yeah. 2001 doesn't ring many bells to me. It's a great shot for Gaz in there. Wonderful. Remember that Nike advert, the Tiger Woods chip at the Masters?
Yeah.
That was incredible, wasn't it?
They did some good adverts, actually.
I actually saw Tiger try and recreate that chip, because when I went to the Masters 2019, when Tiger actually went and won, should I say, the flag was in the same position on the 16, so he tried to like recreate it a few times.
When it just hung outside it all.
Yeah, he never did. Like, he always just kind of took a bit too much speed.
I've got a question for guys at home. It could be interesting for us to do some more videos like this. What other iconic brands have like packed in making golf clubs over the years?
Yeah, I suppose not so much pack in, but you think of McGregor.
Yeah.
Not really packed in, but nowhere near where they were, obviously, when...
And how does that occur? Like, do they just aim at a more of an
probably
internal
budgets.
market?
Probably
Budgets?
you think of the big brands like TaylorMade, and I mean, they were owned by Adidas for a long time, weren't they? They're going to have a much bigger marketing budget.
Come down.
Oh. A lot of break on those.
I think what's interesting is, well, how exclusive the Nike stuff is and how hard it is to get hold of.
Yeah, very difficult. You would think that there'd be loads and loads, but obviously it's been out the market for that long now. A lot of it, like these irons, you can buy these second hand. Once these have gone through another cycle of maybe 1 or 2 golfers, who's going to want them with those faces worn off?
Yeah.
They'll end up in the bin, won't they? Right guys, 4th hole. It is a drivable par 4. If we do go over the corner, we need to get all of this. This is the first time I've hit this driver in this video. We are going to talk numbers about this driver in just a few moments time, so make sure you do hang fire. Hit that subscribe button guys as well if you're enjoying these videos, and throw a like on this video. The problem with these was the CG was just too far forward. Usually you will have a little bit more kind of mass here, and that will help enhance MOI of a driver. Nike just basically thought, how far forward can we push it, how low spin can we get it? And it worked for a few golfers, but didn't work for everyone. Right.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because most brands are trying to push the weight as far back as they can.
They're trying to help you, aren't they?
Look at that Nike driver, they've actually removed everything.
Yeah, they have, yeah, they've taken the lot out.
It's gone.
That gap in the trees.
Oh, that's a great line.
I think that's perfect.
That's fantastic. Could be dancing,
We
that.
could be dancing. This could be an eagle chance. See if you can stick it a bit closer.
I think one thing we can prove with this video is that we can't knock Nike for quality, because we're playing with clubs now that have not been sold for, you know, God knows how many years.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with the numbers on the launch monitor. And on the next hole, guys, we're going to go one with that, one with Paradigm, and we're going to have to take the worst one.
Right, okay. That was
It would be
munched,
great if it was a straight hole.
but it was straight. It's not often I have to say that much on this channel, but that was straightest drive ever hit.
Right, we have my drive not on the green, but just short. Gaz, yours was a gunner, unfortunately.
It was too straight.
Too straight, weren't it? But I mean, you look at this. This is a driver that's what, 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
Par 4. We're up there level. Would a modern driver, because we're all right looking at numbers, which we're going to do in a second, but in a real world test, which we're going to do on the next hole, were these really good if you did just have the right swing for them? We'll go test a wedge here, because Nike actually made some. Do you remember the Nike Engage wedges?
Yeah.
They were awesome. They had loads of CG on them, and actually Mizuno basically made them again for the new wedges, and new Mizuno wedges are incredible.
They used to rust, didn't they? Like,
yeah,
they
were
like peeling a baby
yeah,
bell
they
sticker
came
off
with a
them.
sticker on, didn't they? That was
Yeah.
it. There must be a load of old Nike employees that are like, we put so much work into this, and now it's not even a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Right, for eagle. Oh, it didn't spin very much.
Ooh, that sits nice.
Does, doesn't it? You know, I nipped that. I expected it to like stop dead, and it just released a bit.
That leading edge is so close to the floor.
Ooh. Oh, we've both gone attacking at it. Thoughts on the wedge?
Well, it's a lovely wedge. It sits really close to the floor, but it sits close, but it's nice and rounded here on the edge.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like it's going to dig in. So I do like that.
Yeah.
For someone who's not great with wedges, I didn't feel unconfident with
And
it.
how much was that second hand?
You're not going to believe this.
15 quid?
$24.99.
Mental. I went cheap because I thought, if you're not going to believe it, but that is very good value. This is in, guys. This is for a birdie.
What would that get us?
To 2.
With 1 to play.
Yeah. Go on. Yes. Oh. Not at one point did they say we pulled out because we feel like we can't make good clubs.
Yeah,
They've just said there's not the market for them.
And I bet they're a bit disappointed, especially after the boom that we've just experienced.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where no decision's final, is it? So if they are going to say, oh, well, golf's in a decline, right, well, now it's actually in a massive plus.
But I think the market of golfers and the way the sport's changing, it's really geared up for them in future.
If Nike could bring out a club that looked good, had a really cool name, well, it sounds awful, but wasn't called Paradigm or Stealth or Aerojet, but just a Nike whatever, Nike are exceptional at marketing, probably have some of the best marketing teams in the world, make it a little bit more affordable, they'd clean up.
And why, or just do some package sets at least for like newer golfers.
That, and also they don't need Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, they don't need all these big players to market anymore, because I think people are becoming a little bit savvy to that. It's like, oh, well, Tiger Woods uses TaylorMade because he's paid millions to do so. Whoever uses Titleist because they paid millions to do so. It's not a case of it's necessarily the best in the biz. Right, guys, one hole left, gorgeous par 4, a little bit tight. We're going to hit a couple of drives and see exactly which one does work. But before that, let's jump in the studio. Let's see just how this Nike Covert driver can perform on good hits and bad hits against a brand new Callaway Paradigm Triple Diamond driver. So guys, I kicked things off in the studio with the Callaway Paradigm Triple Diamond. I hit some really good shots with this. I am just really impressed with this driver in 2023. I got some really big shots out there as well. I even got one that nearly got to 300 yards, which for me is a huge number. Then I put the Nike in, and to be honest, it felt okay. I just really struggled to strike it more out the middle. It felt like I had way more feedback than the Paradigm, which itself shouldn't really be an overly forgiving driver. The numbers, as you can see, were actually a little bit closer than what I thought. So it was 4 mile an hour ball speed in it, 600 revs per minute and 7 yards carry. Is that worth the extra money for a brand new 2023 driver? And should Nike look at maybe reintroducing drivers into the market? Let us know. Right, very interesting numbers there. Actually not as far away as what you might think. Ball speed wise pretty good, spin rate pretty good. Just struggled on the miss hits, to be totally honest. Right, I have a Kirkland 1, which is going to be the Nike driver, and a Kirkland 3, which is going to be the Paradigm. Let's test them out here on the golf course. We have to take the worst ball for our score, so it's still going to be scramble, but the worst ball. So basically don't hit one out of bounds. Right, Covert. See, I've hit that really well. It's a little bit high. It's going to be down the right side. It's not too bad, but if I hit a similar shot with Paradigm now, I just feel like the Paradigm, I don't know, I feel like it has to be hotter.
It looked a bit of a weak flight, that, didn't it?
Yeah, weak and high. See, that is strong, innit?
Yeah.
Sounds totally different as well. Like the new kind of 360 wrap on this Paradigm for me it's probably as much of a game changer as we've seen in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Are you doing the same? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to go Titleist 1 with a Nike.
Oh, Gaz. Great shot.
That were a good strike.
Yeah.
That sounded nice. That were a bit bottomy. That's going to be an interesting test.
Yeah, it will, because I think they're going to be quite similar.
Because I didn't hit that very well at all. But if that's gone anywhere near that Nike, that were a good strike, there's a lot to be said for forgiveness at Paradigm. That were very bottomy.
Very interesting results here. We have my Nike Covert down in the right-hand rough. Then we have mine and Gary's Paradigm up in the fairway there. Gaz actually did me even with that low strike. I couldn't believe that. And Gary's ball was up in the left-hand rough there. We'll go with this one. This is my worst one, but the better of the two. So that is the kind of worst ball scenario of the scramble. Right, 98 yards. Let's land this 90. Let it release out a little bit.
Oh, go on then.
That's actually done a lot better than what I thought. We'll take that. It wasn't the strike I wanted. I'm going to hold my hands up, but
we've got a bit of downwind behind, so I'm going to let it ride.
That's a lot better than what I thought it would have been. Yeah, it wasn't the shot, was it?
No, to be fair, that is spun up so much after hitting it so hard.
Interestingly, guys, looking at this bag now, you've got to say it does look cool, doesn't it? With all those kind of clubs in, we've got the irons poking out, the 3-wood, the driver. Would you? Comment below and let us know.
Get in then. Go on then. Oh!
Guys, that is a Tiger Woods fist pump, and it's also 3 under through 5 holes using majority Nike golf clubs. Guys, let us know in the comments, would you use them if they brought them back? What do you honestly think happened to them? Was it because golf was decreasing? Should they have done more to maybe help golf not decrease? And apart from that, guys, we'll see you all at exactly the same time tomorrow. If you want a set of those clubs and you want some second-hand clubs, make sure you go and check out the link in the description, golf clubs for cash. See ya, same time tomorrow. Bye.